Hello students, greetings to all. Welcome back to our lesson. Okay, landlords and tenants under the British and the Nizam. Okay, we discussed about the all right valley system. Okay, permanent settlements. Okay, so now we have to know about the Doras and Peasants of Hyderabad state. Peasants means farmers, right? Doras and Peasants of Hyderabad state. Okay, in the Hyderabad state, under the Nizam rule, there were many forms of subordinate chieftaincies like Jagirdars, okay, like Jagirdars and Samsthanamdars and Inamdars who ruled like independent chiefs. Okay, so when the Nizams were ruled at that time, Hyderabad were treated as a state. Okay, so at that time, the Nizam's king were keeping subordinates some of the chieftains. Okay, some of the chieftains they are called as some Jagirdars. Okay, Samsthanamdars and Inamdars. Okay, so they are ruling like it's they are also a chief of the place, whichever they have given to the Jagirdars. Okay, they collected. So what they will do then? See, they collected revenue from the lands under them and gave a smaller part to the Nizam as peshkas. Okay, peshkas. That means these all Jagirdars and Samsthanamdars, Inamdars, okay, they got into a power of some of villages and some of areas. Okay, what they will do after getting the power? They are collecting the revenue. Okay, they are collecting the revenue from the people. From that, only some of the amount they are giving to the Nizam king. That amount they are calling like a peshkar, the term. Okay, and remaining all keeping with these Jagirdars only. That means remaining all reaches to these people. Okay, and they were responsible for the administrations. Okay, of their areas. In the Hyderabad state, there were about 1500 Jagirs. 1500 Jagirs. Jagirs means a place name, like now we are calling like mandals, okay? Mandals or else districts, we are calling like that. So at that time they are calling like Jagirs, okay? So in a Hyderabad state, how many is there? About 1500 Jagirs. Spread out how many villages these Jagirs? Okay, spread out 6,535 villages. Okay, so these 6,535 villages only, among these all, from these all, they have arranged 1,500 Jagirs. That means, for example, now 12 villages for the all 12 villages one mandal we are calling now. So like that. Okay, don't confuse. Okay, and 14 samsthanams and 497 villages. Okay, see, that means Hyderabad state have how many? 1500 Jagirs, 14 samsthanams and 497 villages. Okay, understood? 15 Jagirs. So these 1500 Jagirs only. These 1,500 Jagirs only spread into these many villages. Okay, and as well as 14 samsthanams and 497 villages. Okay, so these all comes under into the Hyderabad state. Okay, see here, were directly under the Nizams and his personal Jagir called Sar-e-Khas. It's all like Urdu words, right? Nizam kings, they belongs to Urdu, so some of these words related to that. The rest of the kingdom was administrated as described below. Okay, see, look at it. The Nizam who ruled Hyderabad state were under the British and had followed their policies. See, Nizams were ruled this area in the Hyderabad keeping as a state, and Nizams were ruled. But these Nizam also under the British ruled, okay? under the rules and regulations of the British, the Nizam kings were ruled over Hyderabad state. Understood? In the first of 19th century, they tried to collect maximum land. Okay, in what time? 19th century. They tried to collect maximum land revenue through Deshmukhs. Okay, through Deshmukhs, and it resulted in desertion of lands and peasants and complete decline of agriculture. See, okay, in the 19th century, they appointed some Deshmukhs to collect the revenues. Okay, they have collected more and more. Due to that, peasants were stopped of farming. Okay, so due to that, agriculture became declined. In view of this situation, Nizam's government set up a new land revenue arrangement by which the government appointed district officials. Okay, they appointed district officials. Who? Nizam's government. Why? Because Deshmukhs were in the 19th century startings. Deshmukhs have collected more, okay, more revenue. Due to that, peasants were stopped doing of farming. So that is decline of the agriculture sector. So at that time, Nizam's government have taken a decision. They have to be started a new system. Okay, so for that they appointed district officials. Okay, and to collect the revenue directly from the people. The old landlords, okay, the old landlords were compensated with annual payment called rusum. See, previously, before appointing of these district officials, old landlords, okay, landlords will be collecting the revenue, right? When they appointed district officials, so landlords, they are getting some of the amount as in the form of rusum. Okay, this is also some of Islamic word. Okay, in the form of rusum. Okay, and they were also given patta rights of full ownership over the land and adjoining wastelands and forests. Okay, see, district officials are doing the job of collecting the revenue instead of the landlords. Okay, right? And these landlords are not collecting the revenue now after the appointing of district officials. But even though Nizam government is giving some of the amount to the landlords as in the form of rusum. Okay, as in the form of rusum, and as well as he is giving a legally patta for the lands. Okay, legally authority of the patta for the lands. Okay, see, as the landlords realized that there was a large export market for several agricultural products like castor, groundnut, they brought more wastelands under the cultivation to grow these crops. See, at that time, landlords, they came to know that there is a majority of the demand for the some of the crops like castor and groundnut. Okay, so they started out whatever the under the control of the government, some of the wasteland whatever is there, landlords were taken out that into their custody and they started farming in that. Okay, but who would work on those lands? They expanded the scope of vetti. Okay, vetti. Vetti means nothing but a work without wages. Okay, see, who will be working that? Of course, these landlords were occupied the government wastelands to do the farming of which high demand is there, groundnut and castors. Then who will do the work? See, they started the farming of, they started calling the peasants for the vetti or unpaid labor by forcing ordinary peasants and village artisans and service caste to work on landlords' lands. Okay, if any other persons, if they do not want to come to do the work as a vetti also, these landlords forcibly drag out them and they got it the work with the freely in their lands. Okay, and the large lands were called doras. See, who are having more land we are calling as landlords. Okay, who are having the landlords who are having more and more lands, they are calling as doras. Understood? Okay, doras. And doras lived in a large fortified house called gadi. Okay, doras fort we are calling as gadi. Understood? Doras, wherever they live, the forts we are calling now gadi. Even in Sirnapalli, which is near the place, we have there is one big gadi. Even in Onashpet, even in Nizamabad. Okay. Even in Kamareddy outside also we can see some of this gadis and all. Okay, because our Nizamabad place is ruled by the Nizam kings so many years. Okay, of course at that time also it is under control of the British, but this area is controlled by the Nizam government. Okay, so that's why we have many doras names in our place, and as well as we have gadis also. Okay. And see, and had a large retinue of servants and soldiers. So in these gadis, they'll call up of many people as their servants and their soldiers, and for that also they will not pay anything. They had vast land cultivated by tenants and also lands directly cultivated with forced labors. See, they have more and more lands now. Okay. So some of the lands they are giving for tenants, means like kauludar, to some of the other peasants, and as well as they'll force the laborers to do the work as in the form of vetti, and they'll get the crop of that year, like that. Okay. See, they also have judicial power, means judging power. Okay, judicial power over the entire village. Okay, they settled all village disputes were usually particular towards upper caste. See, these doras are usually belongs to the upper caste. Okay. Other village officials like patwaris and smaller landlords to had a bit of orders. The forcibly ensured that lower caste laborers work for the all upper caste, especially for the landlords. See, they are doing the force for the lower caste people. They have to do the work to the upper caste people. Okay, these doras gave the orders to the lower caste peoples. Okay, see, the enforced rules like no lower caste person could wear shirt and or slippers or wear a turban, and had always remained bent before the doras and address them as their masters. See, always these doras ordering to the lower caste people, they have to do the work in the upper caste peoples, and not only these landlords, okay, doras, landlords and patwaris, some other landlords in their all houses, they have to do the work with the freely lower caste people. And when the doras arrives into the places of the villages, right, at that time these all lower caste people have to be bent in front of the doras, and they should not be, these lower caste people, male should not be wear the shirt, okay, and they should not be wear the slippers, and which is having on the head, you know, okay, turban, okay, that also they should not be wear at that time. In the erstwhile Mahbub Nagar and Nalgonda district, there were 550 doras who owned more than 1000 acres of land. In which districts? Nalgonda and Mahbub Nagar. How many doras? 550. Okay. See, there were landlords who owned about 1 lakh acres like Vishnuri Ramachandra Reddy and Janna Reddy Pratap Reddy. Okay, the two more are doras belongs to Nalgonda and Mahbub Nagar districts. Okay, I'll continue the lesson.